Hello viewers, I'm Dr. Jackson Wajau, Executive Director at Harmony Consultants and a University Professor in the School of Business and Management. Today I'm introducing a topic in the organization theory, which is the classical theory's school of thought. Before I continue, I would wish to request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also remember to turn the notification bell so that you are alerted anytime I upload a new video. Thank you for watching. So today I want to discuss about the classical theories. This is in relation to the historical perspective of organization theory, and as I said earlier, this will help us to understand the modern organization theory and modern organization. So the classical theories were developed in three streams, that is the scientific theory, the administrative theory, and the theory of bureaucracy. But in this video, I'm going to discuss the two theories, that is the administrative theory and the theory of bureaucracy. Let's start with the theory of bureaucracy. This theory was developed by sociologists who took a relatively scholarly descriptive point of view. And the most famous of those sociologists was Max Weber, who lived between 1864 and 1920. And he was a German sociologist. He published most of his work toward the end of the 19th century. And Max Weber identified the following as the main characteristic of bureaucracy. One, that labor is divided so that the authority and responsibility of each member is clearly defined. Two, that offices or positions are organized in a hierarchy of authority, resulting in a chain of command. Three, that all organization members are to be selected on the basis of technical qualifications through formal examination or by virtue of training or education. Four, that officials are appointed, not elected. Five, that administrative officials work for salaries and are career people. And administrative officials work for salaries and are career people. 6. That officials are separate from owners. 7. That the officials are subject to strict rules and controls regarding the conduct of their official duties. 8. That those rules are impersonal and are uniformly applied to all people and cases. 8. He called this form of an organization a bureaucracy. He called this form of an organization a bureaucracy. Let's now look at the administrative theory. This theory was largely developed by Henry Fayol, who was a French industrialist. He describes a number of management principles that go towards capturing the entire flavor of the administrative theory of management. Some of those principles are: number one, division of work or specialization. This principle talks about the fact that one should work at activities in which he or she has comparatively higher skills, because this should lead to higher productivity. Number two, we have authority and responsibility. Authority is the right to give orders. Each person should have an appropriate authority to go with a given responsibility. And responsibility is the task to be accomplished. Authority is the right to give orders, and each person should have an appropriate authority to go with a given responsibility. And responsibility is a task to be accomplished. Number three is discipline. There must be respect and obedience to the rules and objectives of the organization. So Fayol said that for organization to be stable, there must be discipline, respect, and obedience to the rules and objectives of the organizations. That's important, because no organization can run without respect and obedience to the rules. Number four is the unity of command. To reduce confusion and conflict, each member should receive orders from and be responsible to only one superior. This is also very important, because you can imagine where one officer, one employee is receiving orders from different managers. There could be a lot of conflict, because each manager wants There are rules to be obeyed, or whatever they want to be adhered to. Unity of a direction. Unity of direction. An organization is effective when members work together towards the same objective. So an organization is only effective when members work towards the same objective. So he insisted that there should be unity of direction. And this is very important because without it, organization will be working in a way that everyone is working on his own project, which is not very healthy. It's not even healthy for any institution to survive, to even thrive. The next one is subordination of individual interest to general interest. This principle states that the interest of one employee or a group of employees should not prevail over that of the organization. Rather, the general interest must be maintained as paramount. The next principle is that the remuneration of personnel should be fair, should not be exploitative, and should reward good performance. Next is centralization versus decentralization. A good balance should be found between centralization and decentralization. And this is important because a good balance should be found between centralization and decentralization. And this is important because you should have clear policies on the decision making along the hierarchy. Because you can imagine, you have a branch, maybe your head office is in Washington, and you have a branch in California, but the manager who is in California cannot make a decision. If you're in Kenya, you have the head office in Nairobi, but you have a branch in Kisumu, but the branch manager in Kisumu cannot take any decision. So you should have a good balance to be found between centralization and decentralization. The next principle is referred to as Skara chain. There is a Skara chain or a hierarchy dictated by the unity of command, linking members of the organization from top to bottom. That is important because it helps the organization to be aware of the chain of command, and also it helps the company to understand about the chain of communication. Equity. This principle talks about kindliness and justice, which is largely based on predetermined conventions, and that these ones should prevail in the organization. When we talk about conventions, we are talking about policies, that they should be predetermined. You should not be making rules when people make mistakes, because that will be biased. And all the rules should be fairly administered, and so there should be equity. The next principle is the stability of tenure of personnel. Job security should reward good performance. So organizations should work hard or to make sure that there is job security, or there is a guaranteed job security, and that good performance should be rewarded. The next principle is referred to as the self-initiative. A manager who has initiative and can get others juniors to him or her to do it is far superior to the one who does not have this ability. So if you have a manager who can be able to influence change, or who can be able to influence, who can have positive change, or he can influence others towards a positive direction, that manager will be successful than a manager who lacks that kind of skill. The next principle is referred to as esprit de corps, which means esprit de corps means unity is strength. Superior performance comes from working together. Thus, everyone in the organization should be encouraged to work together and have a sense of belonging. Everyone in the organization should be encouraged to work together and have a sense of belonging. The last principle is technical ability versus management ability. Technical ability predominates lower down the ladder, and management ability higher up the ladder. So what Fayod actually said is that there should be people with technical ability at lower down the ladder, and people with management ability higher up the ladder. Which means the people with management ability should always be taken through development trainings, and people in the lower down the ladder should be taken through technical training. That is the end of the presentation for today's video on classical theories, where I have discussed the two classical theories, the theory of bureaucracy and the theory of the administrative theory by Fayo, and the administrative theory by Henry Fayo, and the bureaucracy theory by Max Weber. Thank you very much for watching. In the next video, I am going to discuss the contingency theories. I'm going to discuss the contingency theory and the human relations school of thought. Thank you very much for watching, and please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and always turn the notification bell so that you'll be alerted whenever I post a new video. Thank you.